While Abu Bakr was playing outside, he heard a strange sound coming from the compound. He turned to see Jakadi standing on his back legs, staring at him with an intense look. Abu Bakr was surprised, but when he looked into Jakadi's eyes, he felt like the dog was trying to say something. Then, to Abu Bakr's shock, Jakadi spoke in a deep, raspy voice. "Abu Bakr, my dear friend, I have something important to share with you." Abu Bakr's eyes grew wide, and he nearly fell over in disbelief. A talking dog. That was something he never expected. In the quiet village of Kaura, located in the heart of Hausaland, something incredible happened that the villagers would remember for a long time. It was the day a dog spoke. A young boy named Abu Bakr lived in a small compound. He was known for being kind and had a special bond with his dog, Jakadi. Jakadi was not just any dog. He had a shiny black coat and bright brown eyes that seemed to hold a world of secrets. One bright afternoon, while Abu Bakr was playing outside, he heard a strange sound coming from the compound. He turned to see Jakadi standing on his back legs, staring at him with an intense look. Abu Bakr was surprised, but when he looked into Jakadi's eyes, he felt like the dog was trying to say something. Then, to Abu Bakr's shock, Jakadi spoke in a deep, raspy voice. "Abu Bakr, my dear friend, I have something important to share with you." Abu Bakr's eyes grew wide, and he nearly fell over in disbelief. A talking dog. That was something he never expected. Jakadi went on, "I have been watching you for a long time, and I admire the kindness you show to all creatures. I have come to reward you for your good heart." Abu Bakr was filled with questions, but before he could ask, Jakadi said, "Come with me, Abu Bakr, and I will show you something that will change your life forever." Though Abu Bakr hesitated for a moment, his curiosity took over. He followed Jakadi as the dog led him through the village, passing by the straw huts and the busy market. They finally reached a quiet place on the edge of the village, where a magnificent tree with lush green leaves and colorful flowers stood proudly. Jakadi stopped in front of the tree and faced Abu Bakr. "This is the Tree of Wisdom," he said. "It contains the mysteries of the universe, and I have come to give you access to its wisdom." Abu Bakr's eyes grew wide with wonder as he reached out to touch the tree. The moment his fingers brushed against the bark, a wave of energy and understanding rushed into his mind. He experienced flashes of the past and glimpses of the future, grasping the universe's secrets. He realized that everything in existence was intertwined and that every choice had its effects. Abu Bakr spent hours beneath the Tree of Wisdom, absorbing knowledge and growing wiser. He uncovered the secrets of nature, learned to understand animals, and explored the complexities of human emotions. He discovered the fragile balance of the ecosystem and the significance of living in harmony with the environment. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, Jakadi spoke once more. "Abu Bakr, you have received a remarkable gift. Use this wisdom carefully, and always keep in mind that kindness and compassion are essential for a joyful and meaningful life." With that, Jakadi transformed back into an ordinary dog, and Abu Bakr returned to his village, forever changed by the experience. From that moment on, Abu Bakr applied the knowledge he gained from the Tree of Wisdom to assist his fellow villagers. He became known for his insight and generosity, and people traveled from far and wide to seek his advice. He helped resolve conflicts, healed the ill, and even contributed to the village's prosperity. As for Jakadi, he remained Abu Bakr's faithful friend, always by his side, reminding him of that extraordinary day when the dog spoke. Jakadi still had magical abilities, often using them to support Abu Bakr in his mission to improve the world. Years passed, and Abu Bakr became a legendary figure in the village. Tales of his wisdom and kindness spread, recounting how he had brought wealth and peace to the community. Whenever these stories were shared, Jakadi, the talking dog who transformed Abu Bakr's life, was always mentioned. But what they didn't realize was that Jakadi's powers went far beyond just speaking. He had the ability to see what was going to happen in the future, talk to animals, and even cure the sick. He was sent to Abu Bakr for a special reason, one that would be revealed when the time was right. One day, a terrible drought struck the area, causing the village to suffer from hunger and illness. The villagers were in a panic and didn't know how to fix things. Abu Bakr, along with Jakadi, went to the Tree of Wisdom to seek advice. Standing in front of the tree, Jakadi said, "Abu Bakr, your moment to shine has arrived. The drought affecting our land isn't just a random event, it's a sign from the universe. The natural balance has been upset, and it's your job to fix it." Abu Bakr listened carefully as Jakadi went on. "The Tree of Wisdom has granted you the knowledge and strength to heal our land. You need to use this gift to bring back prosperity to the village and restore nature's balance." Yan. Feeling a surge of determination, Abu Bakr promised to do everything he could to help the village. With Jakadi by his side, he began a quest to bring back balance to nature and prosperity to the land. Their first destination was the river that ran through the village. The river had dried up, leaving the villagers struggling to find clean water. Abu Bakr and Jakadi walked along the riverbank, and Abu Bakr used his understanding of nature to figure out what was wrong. He found out that the river had been contaminated by the villagers' careless use of chemicals and waste. With Jakadi's assistance, Abu Bakr started to clean the river. They rallied the villagers, and together they worked hard to remove the pollution and restore the river to its original beauty. While they worked, Abu Bakr shared his knowledge of nature with the villagers, teaching them how to live in harmony with the environment. He showed them natural ways to purify the water and how to dispose of waste without harming the land. The river gradually started to flow again, giving the villagers access to clean water. With this change, the village began to thrive, and the people felt a new sense of hope and determination. However, Abu Bakr and Jakadi still had a lot of work ahead of them. They ventured into the nearby forest and discovered that the drought had caused a lot of damage. Many trees were dying, and the animals were having a tough time finding food and water. Using his understanding of nature, Abu Bakr came up with a plan to help the forest recover. He and Jakadi worked hard, planting new trees, digging wells, and setting up a system to share water throughout the area. While they worked, Abu Bakr taught the villagers about the importance of taking care of the environment. He showed them how to live in balance with nature and use resources wisely. Little by little, the forest started to come back to life. The trees became strong and healthy again, and the animals returned to their homes. The village was filled with pride and a sense of achievement. Abu Bakr and Jakadi had gone through tough times and celebrated victories together. They faced many challenges, but stayed committed to each other and the environment. As they stood side by side, looking over the restored forest, Abu Bakr said to Jakadi, "My dear friend, I couldn't have done this without you. You've been my guide, mentor, and friend. I will always be thankful for your wisdom and support." Jakadi looked up at Abu Bakr with his big brown eyes and wagged his tail, knowing he had fulfilled his purpose and that Abu Bakr was ready to continue on his own. With a final nod, Jakadi disappeared into the forest, leaving Abu Bakr to carry on his mission. When Abu Bakr returned to the village, he was welcomed as a hero. The villagers celebrated his success and thanked him for restoring their home. Abu Bakr spent the rest of his life in the village, sharing his knowledge and wisdom to help others. He always kept Jakadi in his heart and remembered the important lessons he learned from him. He also cherished the unforgettable day when the dog spoke. The tale of Abu Bakr and Jakadi was told from one generation to the next, reminding everyone of how important it is to live peacefully with nature and the amazing impact of kindness and compassion. Whenever the villagers gazed at the stars, they would think of that magical day when the dog spoke, and it would bring smiles to their faces, knowing that they could also make a positive change in the world. Thank you for watching. Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Also, click the notification button to get notified each time I post a new video. See you on my next video.